What's going on, everybody? C4 here. Welcome back to the channel and continuing with our 32-team 7-round mock draft series. We are now with the team that has made maybe the most shocking offseason acquisition, and they hold the 14th pick in the draft, and that is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. A Buccaneers team that was very on the cusp of, are they contenders? Are they kind of in a rebuild? What's going on? To, oh boy, they are in a win now mood because they got that Tom Brady, and they're in all sorts of moods right now when you bring in a guy like Tom Brady. Now, they got new jerseys. Am I a little disappointed that they brought back two of like the early 90s jerseys, the red and the white, so I thought were fine, and then everyone liked the pewter jerseys, and I said, for the love of God, those pewters should be creamsicle, and that would have been like the best jersey unveiling ever. Anyways, I digress. They got rid of these stupid clock numbers. They got Brady under center now. And so I don't know why Tom Brady chose Tampa, but it's not the worst landing spot. You know, you could have a lot worse things to deal with than having Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, O.J. Howard, and a QB-friendly coach like Bruce Arians with you. But there's still plenty of work that needs to get done to this Bucs roster between right this second, which is the 8th of April, and the kickoff of the regular season. So looking at this roster here, like I said, we got two wide receivers. Probably need to add in third, even though Scotty Miller is OP from a Madden standpoint. Very fast. What do you have, like 95 speed, 96 speed, 94 speed, pretty close. White Lightning a little bit. Running back, there's no stability at running back. Sometimes Ronald Jones showed a couple flashes here and there last season, but still not consistent enough to be RB1. Offensive line, you look at the O-line here, you got two solid starters in Marpet and Jensen. Other than that, you get inconsistent play at best from Donovan Smith. Same with Kappa, and you need a right tackle. I'm surprised they haven't given Demar Dotson just another cheap one-year flyer. But I'm going to have them address the offensive line position very early in the draft. Just you wait. Hopefully, they can utilize O.J. Howard a little bit more. But Howard and Brate are still, talent-wise, I'd say probably a top 5 tight end tandem in the NFL, if not higher. And then you flip to the defense. I thought this was the most underrated defense in the league last year. I think Todd Bowles is an exceptional defensive coordinator, and if it wasn't like, if it wasn't a 3-4, I would have died for him to come back to Philadelphia. But looking at the front, Vita Vea might be the best nose tackle in the National Football League. You get Ndamukong Suh re-signed on a cheap, I think it was a 1-year deal, which was a great piece of business. You got Golson. Yeah, you probably could do a little bit better. He's inconsistent. I'm pretty sure he's overpaid, but still 2/3 of your front three are outstanding. You look at the back seven, Shaq Barrett, breakout player last year. What, he had 19, 18 sacks, something crazy like that. Yeah, and they got him on a tag, so you get one more, make sure he's not fool's gold. You got Devin White and Levante David, one hell of an inside tandem. JPP still getting up in age a little bit, but still producing. You look at the secondary, could be better for sure. Carlton Davis, Murphy Bunting, Jamel Dean, they're all solid with upside, but developmental players. I'm a little bit surprised that the Bucs didn't try to bring in maybe a proven commodity in the secondary, like a James Bradbury or something like that. But there's some upside here. I will have them going defensive back, because even the safeties, they got Jordan Whitehead, they got Mike Edwards, 3rd-round pick out of Kentucky, still could do better at the safety spot. Justin Evans was a high-round pick. It's just they don't have a breakout player, and they don't really have a choice really to spend a premium pick. I do not have them spending a premium pick at corner at the DB spot, but I have them getting some guys late that I think makes some sense. So let's get in to that 7-round mock draft for the Bucs. Can we help them in this win now mode? Can we draft enough players that with Tom Brady and some of these skill position players, they can make a legitimate run and be legit contenders in the NFC next season? Let's get into it. So we are finally here on the clock for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at pick 14. Now, a common buzzword you get to hear for the first couple picks for the Bucs is pro-ready, because this is a team now with Tom Brady and company that's in a win-now mode. 100% need to compete next season, because that window that they have for Tom Brady, very, very small. So at pick 14, I am selecting Andrew Thomas, offensive tackle from Georgia, 6'5", 320 pounds. He is still my number one offensive tackle in this year's draft. And you may be saying, well, C4, how come he wasn't going at pick 4? To the Giants. I'm trying to make these drafts based upon how I think teams are going to draft. It's not just me going off my big board and going best player available. And I think Andrew Thomas is still the most complete tackle in this year's draft class, and might not be flashy athletically like Tristan Wirfs or Mekhi Becton, but there's no real weaknesses to his game. He will start at left or right tackle for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers day one, and protecting Tom Brady should be objective number one for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers organization when it comes to this draft. And my guess is, because run blocking would be the strength of Andrew Thomas if he had to find what truly his number one strength is. He should be a day one starter at right tackle, and then you got Donovan Smith, who is a below average tackle, probably just holding down that left-hand side. Going to the second round. And then, pro ready. Keyword. I had them selecting at pick 45, Jonathan Taylor, running back from Wisconsin, 5'11", 225 pounds. Elite production in college, over 6,000 rushing yards, 50 touchdowns. You look at the decade, dating all the way to 2010, he might be top 5 running backs we've seen in college football, and he surprised a lot of people with that 4.39 40-yard dash at the Combine. I think Jonathan Taylor can solve all of Tampa Bay running back issues. It's a position that the Bucs have had zero stability since, I don't even know. Like Cadillac Williams. I can't remember the last time the Bucs had like a truly great running back. I'm not even great, like a top 10 running back. I feel like I'm missing something. Doug Martin, 2015, and that was like one outlier year. Since then, there's been no consistent running backs. And Doug Martin had like substance abuse issues. So a guy like Jonathan Taylor immediately is going to come in, be a 3-down running back. His weakness, I guess, could be perceived his receiving game. And even then, in 2019, he caught 26 catches, 250 yards, 5 receiving touchdowns, which was more than any of his other years because when he returned to college at Wisconsin, that was the big knock on him. So he decided to prove a little bit that he can catch the ball in the backfield. He can be a 3-down running back at the next level. But his vision beyond the line of scrimmage is terrific. He has great power, great speed. I think he is a guy that can hit the ground running as running back 1 for the Buccaneers and just be a nice little option for Tom Brady to hand that rock off when he's not throwing dimes to O.J. Howard, Chris Godwin, and Mike Evans. Going to the third round at pick 76, I'm selecting Donovan Peoples-Jones, wide receiver from Michigan, 6'2", 210 pounds, insane combine, like 99th percentile, 4.48, 44.5-inch vertical, 139-inch broad jump. He's a perfect replacement for Breshad Perriman as that outside athlete who still needs development. Wide receiver from Michigan, let's be honest, pretty much wide receivers go to Michigan to die. They have the worst quarterback play, and you can't truly evaluate any of these guys. Really, it's going to be a gamble, a crapshoot, but I think for a guy like Donovan Peoples-Jones, it's going to be a great little project for Bruce Arians to continue to work with on that offense. Look at his stats at Michigan. Over 3 years of playing consistently, 100 catches, 1,300 yards, 14 touchdowns, but still a really good athlete and contribute a little bit on special teams. I think that athletic profile is just too good for him to slip into day 3. So if I'm the Bucs looking to bring in that third wide receiver option that was utilized last year because Breshad Perriman filled in due to injury the last 5 or so games, then he cashed out and went to the Jets. I think DPJ would be a good fit for that. Going to the fourth round, where they have 2 fourth-round picks. First up at 117, I was selecting Anthony Gordon, quarterback from Washington State, 6'2", 200 pounds, one of the few developmental quarterbacks in the draft that I'm a huge fan of. I really think him and Cole McDonald are my big 1-2 punch there. I think he's perfect for Bruce Arians, a guy that Bruce Arians is a known quarterback guru. Ben Roethlisberger, Peyton Manning, Andrew Luck. And then he gets to sit behind Tom Brady. He gets to pick the brain of Tom Brady. I don't think there's a better landing spot for any of these QBs that are mid-round than Tampa Bay. I think if I'm Tampa and I'm trying to look at value at quarterback spot, maybe if Jacob Eason slips a little bit, I could be perhaps intrigued. But I think Anthony Gordon's going to be in that money zone for them to come in and draft him, because obviously the Gardner Minshew success story, similar offense. But I think when you look at Gardner Minshew and you compare him to Anthony Gordon, there's obviously going to be big comparisons, but I think you get a livelier arm from Anthony Gordon, better arm talent, and he really, for me, stood out at the combine drills. That's not a big thing, you know. The quarterbacks are just throwing more so. It's a highlight of the wide receivers, because that's when they're really having to make difficult throws. But Gordon consistently was making the best throws out of all the quarterbacks at the combine. It was really him and Justin Herbert that stood out. So I do think in the fourth round, get your developmental quarterback here, Tampa, and have someone that maybe means light beyond Tom Brady is not going to be a crapshoot for whatever draft he decides to retire that ensues after. I think Gordon, get him in the building now and have him be ready to go. Going to their second, fourth round pick at 139, I was selecting Khalil Davis, D lineman from Nebraska, 6'1", 310 pounds. Again, another top percentile player, 4.75 in the 40, 32 reps on the bench press. And I think, again, like Anthony Gordon, Khalil Davis, perfect guy to have an Ndamukong Suh mentor just a little bit. Have him break him into the league, and the athletic profiles are kind of similar. I think when you see Khalil Davis, I think he can mold himself into a solid 3-4 end. Right now, he's more of a pass rusher than he is a run stuffer, but he's such a good athlete, I won't be surprised if he catches on and becomes a very balanced 3-4 end before later. Had a breakout 2019 where he had 44 tackles, 11 TFLs, and 8 sacks. And I think when I'm looking on that 3-4, getting some more bodies in there, on that rotational defensive front. I think Khalil Davis is a very, very nice developmental guy. And again, I'm trying to find perfect pairings here, playing a little matchmaker. Gordon with Brady, Davis with Sue. Moving on to the 5th round. At pick 161, Island selecting Josh Metellus, safety from Michigan, 5'11", 190 pounds, physical safety who excels in run defense right away and will bring some toughness on special teams right away. Throughout his career at Michigan, 186 tackles, 5 picks, 14 PBUs. But I'm just more so looking at the safety department here for the Bucs. They have more so finesse guys. Justin Evans, finesse guy. Jordan Whitehead, finesse guy. Mike Edwards, finesse guy. They don't have that badass, that guy with that old school mentality that I think you do need in that room. And I think immediately you're to get that in Metellus, and he also can contribute on special teams. And they finish up the draft at the 6th round, pick 194. Ireland selecting Javelin Guidry, DB from Utah, 5'9", 190 pounds. Drafting the athletic freak last year kind of worked out well when they burned a pick on Auburn's Jamel Dean, who I think ran the fastest 40. I mean, they got some good football out of him. You know, where he fits on I think he's corner 3, corner 4. He got some meaningful snaps, made a couple big plays here and there. Obviously still a developmental player. Got to have some ups, got to have some downs, but it was a solid pick in the 3rd round. I think getting a little bit better value here in the 6th round on a developmental guy. Guidry is a freak. I mean, he's a slot corner with elite athletic traits, ran a 4.29 in the 40, put up 21 reps on the bench press, immediate special teams ability as it develops more man cover technique and traits, but he's a man corner, he's a willing tackler, and I think when you get a guy that just poses those athletic traits, get him to stick on. Day 3, back end of the roster, getting special teams ability to a guy that I think, you're trying to find out who your best corners are. Hey, put the best athletes, and Tampa is a team that loves getting guys that have really, really good athletic traits and then trying to develop them. They got Jamel Dean. They signed John Franklin out the practice squad. Vita Vea was an athletic freak. Chris Godwin was an athletic freak. Justin Watson, the 5th round pick in 2018, athletic freak. Scott Miller, the 6th round pick in 2019 out of Bowling Green, like 4.3 speed. So this is a team that likes speed, and you're going to get that in spades by getting Guidry and developing them. 120 tackles, 3 picks, 19 PBUs in his career. Nice developmental option on the back end of the roster. So there you go, guys. That is my 7th-round mock draft here for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Let me know if you agree or disagree with it in the comment section below. As always, we'll be back probably tomorrow with another mock draft as well as regular scheduled content. So if it's your first time stopping by, don't be afraid to hit that subscribe button. Smash the like button if you enjoy. Subscribe. It's your first time stopping by, and I'll catch you guys back here tomorrow. Peace out.